Have you ever looked at a cushion and thought, wow, I could probably make that? Well, I have some good news for you because it's actually super easy to make cushion covers, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how. And stay tuned to the end of this video because I'm going to tell you how you can get your hands on a free PDF version of this tutorial so you don't have to keep stopping and starting the video. If you've never seen me before, my name's Melanie and my whole thing is documenting my very boring life and my messy creative process so that burnt out folk like myself don't feel so much pressure to be perfect and polished in what they create and what they do with their lives. If that sounds right up your street, I would love it if you could subscribe to the channel and stick around. Now, let's get into it. For some context, this video is a long-form sibling to an existing series I have both here on YouTube and over on my Instagram. Every Friday, I have decided to dedicate my entire day to some form of creative endeavor, whether it be baking, sewing, knitting, drawing, painting, whatever it may be. I dedicate my entire day to being creative. I started this series because, like most of the adult population, I am mentally unwell and I need something to look forward to every week and also an outlet for all of my feelings and emotions, and it would definitely be more beneficial to me if that was a creative outlet. Today I'm making cushion covers because I bought the cutest pillow from a thrift market about 2 weeks ago and I'm inspired to make more of my own cushion covers. I've made cushion covers before, maybe about 3 weeks ago, and if you can see the brown cushions behind me, these are the ones I made about 3 years ago. I thrifted some curtains and I just turned them into cushion covers by watching a really easy tutorial. I'm not following the exact tutorials when I make these cushion covers because I am going to be adding applique patches to some other cushions, but it kind of follows the same general premise of the tutorial that I watched 3 years ago. My plan for my Creative Friday last week was to make at least 3 cushion covers for the living room in the apartment. We have a vague color scheme going on with kind of warm, earthy tones like greens and browns and oranges and mustard yellows, but as long as the colors aren't horrifically neon or they don't clash too much, I don't really have a preference for what colors I have in the apartment. After all, this is supposed to be a scrap busting project for me and a way for me to work through some of my scrap fabric and a way for me to embrace the whimsy of it all. This is a really easy beginner project that you can do either by hand and sewing by hand or with a sewing machine. You can make these cushions perfectly measured and with a lot of precision, or you can be like me and take a more cowboy sewing approach to it and go off vibes alone. In total, there's a maximum of about 4 seams to sew, so it really is the perfect project to start with if you've never sewn before. As long as you can sew in kind of a straight line and not in a massively skewed angle, you'll be fine. If you make any mistakes, most of them will be hidden by the time you turn the fabric inside out anyway. You are only going to need a couple of things for this project. The first big one is the cushion insert that you want to make a cover for. I've only tried this tutorial with square or rectangle cushions. I've never tried it with circle cushions, but that is something that I really want to try and see whether I can adapt this pattern for, so if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, and make sure you stick around. The next crucial item is the fabric that you want to use. In terms of size, you're going to want a piece of fabric that is about 10 centimeters wider on each side than the cushion insert and around double the height plus 50%. So if you have a 50 by 50 cushion insert, you're gonna want a piece of fabric that is 70 centimeters wide by 125 centimeters. This isn't an exact science and it does leave you with quite a bit of excess fabric, but I would rather have too much fabric than not enough fabric. You'll need something to sew with, either a needle and a thread or a sewing machine. As long as you can sew a straight stitch with it, you will be fine. Sewing by hand will take you longer and might not be as strong as using a sewing machine, but I am a huge advocate for using what you have and not needing a sewing machine for smaller projects like this. Some smaller bits that you will need are pins, a measuring tape, and something to mark fabric with. This could be a pencil or some chalk. You just want to make sure that you can see the marks that you are making, but that it doesn't go through to the other side of the fabric. So you don't want to use anything like Sharpies or felt tip pens. Hello, Arlo. You're gonna say hello? This step is a little bit convoluted to explain, and I am sorry if I butcher it entirely, but I promise that I will try and make it as clear as possible. I'm just not a great teacher and I am very wordy. I didn't have my cushion insert when I was making the cushion covers last week, so I cut a 40 by 40 piece of cardboard to act as a template. You can do the same if you want, or if you haven't got your cushion insert yet, but you can also just use the cushion as a template itself. I used thrifted fabric for this project. I think the piece of fabric I was using in this video was originally a curtain, so there is already a few finished finished edges. If you are also using thrifted fabric for this project and there is already hemmed edges or space for a curtain pole or curtain hooks, use this to your advantage. I like to use old curtains and use the finished edge where you put like the curtain hooks or the curtain pole as the outside or the top flap. Let's start with the width of the fabric. Place your cushion or template on the wrong side of the fabric and measure roughly 5 centimeters on each side of the cushion or template. If your fabric already has a straight edge or a finished edge, use that as one of your sides. Don't just cut your fabric in the center and waste a lot of fabric. You can cut the fabric at this stage or just mark it with your chalk or pencil. You want to have these overlap, not just meet in the middle. As the pre-finished edge of my fabric is going to be the top flap, I'm going to adjust the fabric so that when I fold the fabric over the cushion template, it sits over the halfway point of the template. I personally don't think there's any right or wrong length for the flaps, just as long as they overlap, I've never had an issue. Now mark the fabric on the wrong side where the fabric folds over the pillow. For the bottom flap, you can either do it entirely based on vibes and fold the fabric to meet the top flap and cut it at a point where it overlaps the top flap, or you can be a little bit more precise and do some measuring. It's entirely up to you. In case you are measuring, measure from the bottom edge of the cushion to any point underneath the top flap. I tend to go about 10 centimeters from the edge of the top flap. Try to mark and or cut this line on the fabric as straight as possible. Again, mark the fabric on the wrong side where the fabric folds over the pillow. It's probably a good assumption that this edge of your fabric is not finished, so fold the fabric over towards the wrong side of the fabric. I tend to fold over about 2 centimeters just to make sure the raw unfinished edge is not visible on the outside. If you have 2 unfinished ends, you're going to want to do this for both the top and the bottom flap. Are you now seeing why I said that this bit is a little bit convoluted? You'll be happy to know that things get significantly easier and less difficult for me to explain past this point. First, you're going to want to hem the edges that you pinned for the flaps. This may be one or both ends depending on the fabric that you used. These are the short sides of your fabric rectangle. Using a sewing machine or by hand, sew across these hems, making sure to backstitch to secure the ends of your stitching. You can use whatever seam allowance that you want. For these edges, I opted for 1/2 inch, but you could do a smaller or larger seam allowance based on your preference. Before you sew the sides closed, you're going to need to pin the cushion together. Before you start pinning, try to make sure that the flaps lie straight. You want to lie the top flap down first, folding at the marks you made earlier, before lying the bottom flap over the top flap. Make sure that you're lying everything right sides together so that when you turn the cushion inside out, the right side is facing out. Pin up the open sides of the cushion cover. I also like to pin or clip the folded edge just to keep everything in place when I sew. Now you're going to sew up the open sides using about 1 inch seam allowance. Make sure you backstitch at the ends of your stitching. From here, turn your cushion inside out and voila, you have a cushion cover. I am not the best at explaining things, but I do have a PDF that you can download that is a lot less wordy and is probably a lot better explained than this video might be. The PDF is linked in the description and is completely free of charge. Perhaps instead of paying, you could subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram instead. I did vlog the entire weekend of sewing though, and next week I will drop the sewing vlog, so make sure you stick around for that. However, that's all I have for you in this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.